Alright everyone, this is a follow-up to yesterday's video about the tunnel graft procedure that I did to try to correct the damage to my upper front teeth done by AGGA and controlled arch braces. So I want to answer a few questions, specifically the cost of the procedure and risks associated with the procedure. Regarding cost, I paid $5,200 for the tunnel graft of this region right here. A large part of that cost was simply in the materials. So probably close to 30% of the cost was just in the bone mixture that was used as part of the graft. That's not a cheap product. That's allopathic bone that comes from a cadaver, so basically another dead human that's now part of my body, which is kind of messed up to think about, but it is what it is. I try not to think about it, but I guess every time you eat an animal, a dead body becomes part of your body, right? So, it's all a matter of perception. So that allopathic bone mixed with the growth factors is expensive. And those growth factors are, some biotech product, probably, I'm guessing, don't quote me on this, but probably some protein, a hormone, which are proteins, that's mixed in with the allopathic bone to try to stimulate and encourage the body's healing and bone deposition process into the allopathic bony powdery matrix that's packed in during the graft. So yeah, $5,200 is what I paid. The periodontists who I saw are, they're definitely I don't want to say a super high-end office, but they have their stuff together there, and I imagine that for they're charging a little bit of a premium for the top-notch experience in the office. They have 3 different offices. The offices are all very beautiful. They have very high-end equipment, new CBCT machine. So maybe what my point is, $5,000 is probably on the high end of what you would pay for a graft to fix AGGA damage. So, look to spend $5,000 at most on something like this. The other thing I want to talk about is ongoing risks associated with this tunnel graft. So the biggest risk I think that I faced when doing this graft was perforation. Perforation means tearing. So I actually saw Dr. Ernesto Lee in early March. Dr. Ernesto Lee is the guy who branded S.M.A.R.T grafting. He's probably the most famous tunnel grafting periodontist on the planet. He teaches courses about tunnel grafting. He's an awesome dude, a very kind man, and I saw him in his office in Bryn Mawr, Pennsylvania. And when he took a look at me, he thought, man, to be honest with you, your gums are a little thin even to do a tunnel graft. I knew that I was already too damaged to do a traditional graft that involved flapping the gums, but Dr. Lee thought that even my gums were too thin for a tunnel graft. He feared that when he packed in the bone, he would break, rip, or perforate my gums due to the pressure of that added volume. So when I saw my other doctor who did the procedure, I was concerned that maybe he thought that perforation would be a major risk too, but perforation did not occur during the procedure, so that risk was avoided. No perforation. So for all AGGA patients, I would say, perforation is the first risk that you face when doing a tunnel graft. Your gum might rip, or at least that was Dr. Ernesto Lee's concern for my gums. The second and third risk, you could say, are ongoing risks that I will have to see how they play out over the next several months. And that is basically, whether or not the body rejects the graft. This can happen, as far as I understand, in 2 ways. Either the body resorbs the graft, so all that allopathic bone that was packed in, the body rejects it, and it treats it like bone that it wants to get rid of. And when the body wants to get rid of bone, it resorbs it. The term is resorb. So the body might resorb the graft. That's one risk. The second risk is that the body doesn't resorb it, it doesn't erase it, it doesn't evaporate it, make it go away. But what the body might do is it might not deposit into it. Okay, so like I said yesterday, the way a graft works is you lay in the powder. The powder serves as like a rebar, right? In a building, the rebar. And then the body then deposits new bone on top of that bony matrix, like putting cement over rebar. And then you have a solid structure. But if the body doesn't deposit its own new bone onto that rebar allopathic bone matrix, then the graft remains soft and kind of loose, and you never get that solidity on the loose teeth that you're trying to achieve. Both of those risks, I will know whether or not the body is going to take to the graft within 3 to 6 months. And I saw my doctor yesterday for my first follow-up after I made the video. He said things look good. By the way, he took out that last piece of glue. I'll show you the surgical site, what it looks like now in just a second. But he said 5 to 7% chance that the body rejects the graft. Pretty low risk. And then I asked him, well, doctor, is that usually associated with other morbidities? In other words, are more sickly people generally the ones whose bodies reject the grafts? And he said, actually, yes. Graft rejection is associated with illnesses like diabetes, etc., etc. The healthier you are, he didn't say this, but I'm extrapolating. The healthier you are, the better your circulation is, the more nourished you are with your diet. I think you can drive those numbers even lower. And so, I'm hoping that the graft holds, and I think there's a good chance that it will. But knowing my luck, the way it's been the past 4 years since I jumped into this, who knows? So I need you all to keep sending me your positive thoughts and prayers, and hoping that this graft takes, so that I can have a normal mouth, a relatively normal mouth, bigger than normal, but normal in terms of not having loose teeth, because I want to be able to fist fight someone if I have to, right? I don't want to have to worry about getting my teeth knocked out. So, and that is legitimately like a concern of mine. Like, I fear that I can't, get physical with people. I can't scuffle with people. I can't wrestle around. I can't, shadow box, because if I catch any force on those front teeth, they are gonna topple like toothpicks. So yeah, hopefully I get back to normal. All right, that's it for now. Let me know what else. Appreciate y'all's support. I'll talk to y'all soon. Be easy. 1. Oh yeah, the surgical site. Let me show you that. And he said the stitches come out a week from yesterday. So the stitches will come out exactly 2 weeks after the surgery was done. All right, that's it. Peace.